Hi, Siri. I'm looking for a new podcast, one that preferably is hosted by a UF Hall of Famer, one that airs every weekday that would bring me everything I need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions. Siri, is there such a show?
Have you heard of PodUp with Matthews in the morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or any podcast platform?
Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? UF Hall of Famer Shane Matthews has a show every weekday. I'm gonna go check it out tomorrow. Thanks, Siri.
Good morning. It's a live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. It is Wednesday, hump day. We'll have JC, we'll have Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel. Gators play the Missouri Tigers tonight, 6:30 in the O'Connell Center. Baseball's at Bethune-Cookman. Softball starts, I think, a tournament down in California tomorrow, maybe Friday. But a lot going on. Congratulations to Ian Gilligan for winning for the Gators. He won his second straight tournament, by the way, out in Vegas at Southern Highlands. Team came in fourth. So Congratulations to him. He's a transfer from out on the West Coast. JC, you're on the Titan No More hotline, courtesy of Duffield Home Improvements. What's going on?
Well, that's good stuff. I was watching a lot of basketball last night, QB. Great game in Starkville. So sad for my Bulldogs, your Bulldogs. They had them, but Kentucky with
there were three of the best freshmen playing in that game last night.
Yeah.
Two for Kentucky,
and one for
Reed
State.
Shepard and Dillingham. And then the kid from Mississippi State, Hubbard.
Oh, my God, Hubbard.
It was an incredible game.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that damn Reed Shepard is something else.
Yes, 32 points, had a basket with less than half a second to go, took the ball, took the game over. But you got to give State some credit, falling behind, hitting some threes in the clutch. Josh Hubbard. I don't know where they found that kid, but I'm so glad he went to
Madison Ridgeland High School.
There you go,
all-time leading scorer in the state of Mississippi in basketball. That says a lot.
That's a great pickup for Chris Jans. Listen, these are two playoff teams. These are two tournament teams, right?
They're playoff teams.
Well, yeah, you can say that. And you know, they scored 180 points last night. So it was a thrilling game to watch. It was good stuff. The hump was packed. That's not often the case, but it has been this year. So SEC basketball alive and well. Big games tonight going on. Also, you've got my 9th-ranked Iowa State Cyclones tonight facing the Oklahoma Sooners at home. And Houston is the #1 team in the country. They held serve, and they beat Cincinnati at home. So good basketball, man. I'm telling you, this is the time of year. We're getting so close now to March. It's just about here. In fact, it is basically here. And Florida will win tonight and beat Missouri. But if you're laying 13.5 points and you're into that kind of thing, be careful with that. I would have thought it might even be higher than 13.5.
No, Missouri, Mike Morgan will tell you, Missouri has been in about every game they play for 35 minutes. In the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, they lose it. So
I heard that. I heard that as well. Big game for
it'll be a dicey game tonight, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Florida will win by double digits, QB. But listen, big game for Texas A&M tonight. They are reeling. They've got a team coming in tonight that's hot. It's ranked 18th in the country in South Carolina. They have to win that game tonight. They're a favorite to win that game tonight. So it's a big game for them. And then if you like offense, I think you're going to see it tonight in Tennessee with Auburn coming in. I think you'll see a high-scoring game there as well.
I disagree with that. I think Tennessee locks them down because Auburn can't score.
Well, I mean, you might be right there, but Auburn is still ranked 11th. You know, I know you're not as high on them as I am, but they're a tournament team as well, and they'll get in. And that's really the whole bottom line, right? Just get in and find your way to the Sweet 16. So that's the goal everybody has. And I think the league. You said with Mike the other day, I was watching. You were thinking 7 teams, maybe 8, and really that's kind of where I've been.
Seven are locked, sealed, and delivered.
7. So either
8 or 9 could get in, but 7 are definitely in. That's
going to be determined in the next 2 weeks. So it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, if you're into basketball, folks, this is it. And your basketball team here in town is definitely a contender. Some folks have them as high as a 7 seed playing out west.
I think they're going to go. I think they can make a run to the Final Four. I think they're that good.
Well, let's just hope that, I don't want them to play out west. Although I'll be happy wherever they go. I'd like to see them play closer to home. That's all. But who knows? But just getting in is the key, QB. I agree with you.
No, I know that. I'm never a homer. People will know that watching this program that I'm not a homer. But my eyes have told me from day one, this team has the ingredients of what a Final Four team is all about. Tremendous guard play and bigs that can move and make plays.
Yeah.
They can make the Final Four.
I don't disagree. Listen, they're off the way they crash the offensive boards has been unbelievable to me. And they're doing it with these young kids. Condon has really come of age. And I'm happy with what I'm watching this guy do with this group of players. So, let's just root like hell. You've got skin in the game finally here in Gainesville. How about that? That's a good thing. You got skin in the game now. You've got a chance to do something special. Also, another good game tonight, if you're watching this stuff, is Creighton at home tonight against Seton Hall. That'll be a good game to watch if you're into it. I've got 3 TVs set up in the living room, QB, and I'm in heaven just going back and forth watching these games. I watched Indiana and Wisconsin last night in Bloomington, Indiana. Now, Indiana's a lousy team, but they beat them. They won the home game, and you thought they were playing for a conference championship. So it was good to watch. Listen, Cincinnati, Houston was a competitive game. It's really fun to watch. Syracuse was a big home favorite. I picked 4 winners last night, QB. 4. Had Kentucky plus 3.5. Had the Cincinnati Bearcats plus 13.5. Had the over in the Vanderbilt game, and look what happened. They scored 160 points. The total was 151.5. Had the Dayton Flyers, Anthony Grant. Remember him?
So basically, you're sitting here telling everybody you didn't lose any games.
I basically just can skip work for the rest of the month.
Oh boy. Okay.
The month has 2 days left in it, QB. So
there you go. Baseball. A lot of people here joking around about firing Sully. They lose another midweek game to Stetson. They play at Bethune Cookman. I told people the other day. Steve Russell made a very good point. None of these games matter except when you play Florida State and Miami and SEC. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
They're going to lose more games to Bethune-Cookman. They're going to lose games to Stetson. They're going to lose – I don't know who else they got in midweek games. They're going to lose them.
Have they always done this, though? Have they always lost these games?
Yes.
They have always lost.
Always.
I don't ever remember them losing to Bethune-Cookman. Come on.
Well, they've lost to Stetson multiple times. They've lost to North Florida multiple times. It happens. Okay. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
No,
well, apparently,
nobody cares.
Apparently, some people do care.
They're clueless because it does not matter.
Well, if it didn't matter, why are we playing these damn games in the middle of the week?
I don't know why they play them, quite honestly.
Yeah. It is kind of strange, even with their lesser known.
Because they will tell you when
still losing these games.
A loss to Columbia or a win against Columbia has no bearing when it comes to seeding in their tournament. It all comes down to when you play the big boys, the Florida States, the Miamis, and then your conference schedule. Yeah. That's all that matters.
Well, and I get it. It's Miami, it's FSU, certainly maybe even UCF or USF when they play them. But yeah, I'm not worried about that right now. It just doesn't concern me. Baseball right now, I know it started, but you're not worried about it?
No, I have zero. I could care less. Daryl's got a text here on the Titan More text line. If you people who just listen and don't watch want to text us, it's 352-353-7465. He says, hopefully people won't start freaking out because we lost to Stetson last night. It's baseball. Got to give it to Stetson pitching. They're pitching. I know the FHSA met Monday about NIL. If NIL comes to high school sports, it will be a travesty. Maybe I need to start shopping my 10-year-old grandson for an NIL baseball deal. Yeah, it's that I'm over it. I am over it. It is complete nonsense, especially at the high school level. Think about how stupid that is, JC. So here's how and it's going to cause serious issues with high school coaches and families. Let me give you an example. JC, your kid, let's say Buchholz, your kid is the starting tailback for the Buchholz Bobcats. Pretty good player, not all world, maybe small level, FCS type football player or whatever. Okay. Well, 20 miles outside of Gainesville, there's a 5-star running back that some quality plumbing or somebody throws a lot of money at him to come play at Buchholz. Okay. Not only is that going to cause a lot of frictions among high school players, but you ain't going to be happy about it. Your kid ain't going to be happy. I'm telling you, it's going to be a disaster. And I am so glad I'm not involved in it. And anyway, so I wanted to mention this to Chuck Bell, who coached Buchholz last year, stepped down to go back to being defense coordinator. Whittemore's back as the head coach.
Whittemore's back. Okay.
Yeah, Chuck's got a young family. They're having another baby. I think he's got 3 or 4 kids.
All right, Chuck.
Yeah.
All right, Chuck.
So anyway,
Chuck's the one who needs some NIL money. Chuck's going to be the one paying for those babies.
But think about I mean, first of all, the state of Florida is so backwards because they don't pay their coaches peanuts, and that's why coaches are hauling ass to Georgia and Alabama and Mississippi to coach. And now they're trying to pay players to play in high school. Come on, people.
I mean, dude, I don't know where this is coming from.
It's the dumbest damn thing I've ever heard.
But like you and I are both empty nesters, right? So we don't really have skin in this game, so to speak. But you're right. I have sympathies for the kid who's busting his ass in the weight room and he's getting out there trying to be a player on the team. All of a sudden, this free agent comes rolling in from North Marion. I mean, it's unbalanced. It's crazy. I don't know who the hell can keep up with this. I'm not. I can promise you I'm not going to keep up with it.
No,
I love my school, but that's about it.
Yeah, we got some YouTube questions here brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Russell says they play these midweek games so Sully can figure out who he can trust when conference play starts. True. Yeah, you want to find out, who can come in relief for 1 or 2 outs and things of that nature.
There is an element to it.
I mean, they're basically like exhibition games are what they are.
But they're still doing something productive. They still want to find out information. They still got to let some kids play, see what they can do. So it does matter. I mean, it is important in a way. Otherwise, I don't think they'd suit up and go. But I get it. I understand how fans are. This is the way the world works, QB. Fans want to see their team win regardless of who they play.
Christopher says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, he wanted to know my thoughts on Dan Enos coming to Florida to be an offensive analyst. Don't care. Maybe it helps. Maybe it does. I don't care about any of that off the field analyst nonsense.
Can we get?
Here's the deal.
Yeah, let's get a sponsor.
Maybe Dan Enos can take a little bit of time for somebody and break down the left tackle of the Miami Hurricanes. Look at the tendencies. Does he put too much weight on his left leg on a running play, or is it more weight on his right leg and it's a pass play? These are the kind of things that analysts do. So, I wouldn't care if they hired John Cornell as an analyst. I mean, we
got to get a sponsor for the assistant coach of the day segment on the PodUp podcast because I swear to you, it is just nonstop with these assistant coaches. My God, please. I mean, is it that boring out there? I mean, I know there's something else going on. There's got to be. I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't. It does not matter to me. And
here's the thing: coaches love to be around teams when you've been coaching. Dan Enos has been coaching a long time. He's made a lot of money. He probably got paid a lot of money when Arkansas fired him. So it ain't like the Gators are paying him a lot of money to come here and break down tape.
Right.
Somebody said here high school athletes have been transferring. This is not about transferring. We know transferring has been going on, but now people are going to be throwing money at these kids.
Wow.
So
wow.
Well, which is stupid. Complete stupidity.
Back to the coaching thing. Just real quick, we can have 2 offensive coordinators. We can have 8 offensive coordinators. We got one guy calling the plays. Okay. So however you want to call, whatever name you want to give these guys, give it to them. But one guy is making the offense do what it does, or is coaching the offense, is calling the plays, I should say. And that's your head coach.
We got a text here on the Titan Mar text line from area code of 516. I don't know where that is. Do you know, JC?
516? No. Go ahead. I'll find out.
I love y'all's show. My daughter's an out-of-state student who loves attending sports events at UF. We visited her last week and went to 3 baseball games, a softball game, and a basketball game. We love the Gator sports. We are Gator sports fans for life, and she loves the school. Go Gators.
Well, God bless her. That is a great text. Just hopefully, if she applies to the school, if she wants to go to Florida, hopefully she'll get lucky. This is an area code in New York. This is in the 516 is in there, and that doesn't mean necessarily that this person is in Long Island. You can have area codes.
Well, he could be. He could be in the Hamptons.
Yeah, well, it's in Long Island. Yep,
Oh, okay.
But it's closer to Babylon. It's closer to the city, whereas the Hamptons are closer out east. But great. If they're up in New York watching us, man, let me know if you want Islander updates or Ranger updates, because I'm all about hockey. But that's awesome that she's a Gator fan, and maybe we'll see something special from the basketball team or whatever.
Ruzoger State Farm Office is a team of dedicated insurance professionals ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. Visit ogreinsurance.com. Give them a call at 352-240-1779. We got JC on the Titan tomorrow hotline, courtesy of Duffield Home Improvements, and we'll have Edgar Thompson. He'll give us some more details about football, Florida victorious, all that stuff. I do have a question for all my baseball guys, the Tonys, the Dans, maybe Andy. Okay. I need somebody to correct. I'm a uniform guy, JC, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love uniforms.
Yes, you do.
I have an issue with the new Gator baseball uniforms.
Okay.
And I may be wrong here, but the damn numbers, we have the weirdest font on our numbers.
I'm going to have to see this. I'm going to have to see this.
Yes, I do not like it. So somebody out there that really follows baseball, I'm about 100% sure that these new jerseys that we wear, all the colors, have a different number font on the back, and I don't like it.
Don't like that
at all.
Well, I'll check it out and give you confirmation there, QB, because usually you and I see eye to eye on.
Well, you're not going to know. You definitely don't know about the font, JC. I can promise you that.
What does that mean? I don't know about the font. What are you talking about?
Are you going to know what font they had on the back of their jerseys last year compared to this year?
No, I'm not.
Okay, somebody's got to let me know that, because it's going to drive me nuts.
All right, okay, well, yeah.
Yep, Brandon says they changed it this year, and it looks awful. It does look awful. It's terrible.
Why mess with something that's good? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's probably a damn Nike thing.
There you go. Well, there's a big stink right now in Major League Baseball about Nike and the uniforms, and the Players Association is giving the owners hell about it. And I mean, I don't know. In this world where we've got a lot of things to worry about, we're now talking about Nike uniforms.
Yeah, Brent says at least the pants aren't see-through like Major League Baseball. Are they see-through?
Maybe that's what it is. That's the issue with the pants, because I was listening to a radio show yesterday, driving home on Sirius Satellite Radio at a red light, of course, because we've got 75 red lights that span about 3 miles everywhere you go in this town. And, yeah, they were talking about the pants, the Nike's uniforms.
Hang on a second. I've had multiple people talk about the football font. It's the same font we've had since Coach Spurrier got here. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
No, I don't notice anything different.
Yeah, the football jerseys are fine. Them damn numbers on baseball look silly. They're terrible. Absolutely terrible.
When the Gator basketball team wears the old Florida that the Billies teams wore back in the early part of the century here. I like that better than I like this Florida font here with the block letters, as opposed to the slanted bold.
I like both of those, but we're talking about something totally different. You look at these baseball jerseys, you will get going, what in the hell is that?
But I really don't care for that. I've never been a big bubble for this cursive Gators thing. It's all over the place. That I wish and you guys know.
Well, they put the cursive Gators on one of the baseball jerseys this year.
And then this guy here, I've never been a fan of him either. But you love him. You got him on your shirt right now. My God.
I mean, I don't hate it.
Look at all the teeth this guy's got. Jeez.
I like it better than the cursive Gators, so that's why I have it on here.
We got you.
So, JC, we have to do our Peachland Dental golf picks. They're down in Florida this week.
They're moving east. And, like I said on Monday, great week for a guy named Jake. Damn, I already forgot his name. But he won. Okay, so
Jake Knapp.
Yeah, he won down in Mexico, changed his life. So off we go now into PGA National Resort and Spa. Have you ever been down there, QB?
Mm-hmm.
In Palm Beach?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you have. You probably know plenty of folks down there. I think we both have a mutual
said yes.
Friend. Oh, you did. We have a mutual friend who I think plays in a member guest down there with the great Noah Brindise. If that's his place. I'm not sure if it is or not.
No,
but
they're not playing it. That's an extremely private place. This is not. This is open to the public.
Yeah,
PGA National.
PGA National. Okay. Well, we both played there. Okay. Well, QB, I don't know. Am I going first or you going first?
I'm going first since it's my show, and I usually let you go first. Where did I write my guys down? Oh, there they are. I think Rory McIlroy's time to start playing some golf.
He's going to play some golf. You think he's going to make it on the tour? You think he's going to go to Live? All right. Well, that's a good pick. I mean, that's really going out on a limb, but I get it. Give me Cameron Young. Maybe he can break through this year. This 2024 year, he's got to win a tournament. He's so talented. I like him. Give me Cameron Young.
Russell says, am I a Fighting Gator logo or a Gatorhead logo fan? I like both of those logos.
A Fighting Gator logo.
My second pick will be Min-Woo Lee, the Australian. I love this game. You're talking about a dude that hits at a mile that weighs about $140.
Well, he's solid as hell. Very good player. All right, Min-Woo. By the way, Tyson Alexander is in this tournament. So
there's a lot of Gators. Fred Biondi's in this one.
Speaking of a former Gator, I watched the other night our boy Ben Shelton in a 3-set thriller down in Acapulco against Daniel Evans from Britain. And Brian Shelton was there. And Ben, he's going to break through. He's really been playing well. He's reached a couple semifinals in some of these non-Grand Slam events, and let's hope he can pull it through tonight. He's got a good match tonight in Acapulco. Actually, it's in the morning. It's at 10 o'clock this morning. You could probably watch it on the Tennis Channel. All right, I'm going to go with Daniel Berger. These are the kinds
of semi.
Yeah, this guy does well.
I almost picked him. This is the kind of tournaments he wins.
Yes, it is, and plus he's used to this Florida grass. He's very good here.
Give me Ben On.
Okay, Ben On, really. Ricky Fowler's played well at this tournament in the past. I think he's won it actually. So I'm going to go back to Ricky Fowler and give him a nod. But we never pick him. But I think he had a pretty good year last year, so I'm going to stay with him.
All right, so your three picks are Cam Young, Dan Berger, Ricky Fowler. I'm going Rory, Min-Woo Lee, and Ben On. That's your Peachland Dental Gator Nation's #1 source of dentistry in Port Charlotte surrounding areas. On YouTube, Michael says, speaking of clothes, Shane, I saw you last night on Buddy Martin's show. You had on a Georgia red T-shirt. Not a natural look for you. I was so confused. It wasn't a Georgia shirt. It was a long sleeve T-shirt hoodie, but it was not a Georgia shirt.
Was it red?
Yeah, it's kind of like a heather red. I think it said like Pebble Beach on the back or something. I don't remember what it said. Some golf course on the back. No. I know what it was. It says Sea Island's logo is on the back.
Oh, Sea Island is a golf course.
Yeah, well, that's in Georgia. So maybe that's why it's red.
Maybe that is why.
Andy said, Shane, I go back to Charlie Pell and Wayne Peace, and I found this podcast last year. I rarely missed a day, and I learned something every time I listen. Thank you for that. From Rhode Island.
Cool. Rhode Island, the home of the Rams, home of Brown University, home of the Friars. Unbelievable. Rhode Island, it's the size of Marion County. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching up there in the beautiful state. They call it the Ocean State, QB. Now,
I've never been to Rhode Island.
I wanted to save this for you guys because I'm a solutions guy, as you know. That's what I do for a living. Here's my solution for the court storming. And I actually thought of this, but I'm kind of taking off of Jay Billis's take. Do you know what Jay Billis said?
No, I do not.
The way you can stop this is lock them in. Don't let them leave. And as they try to walk out, you hand them a $275 citation, every single one of them who run out there on that court. And you watch, when you start hitting people in the wallet, attitudes change. Not universities, not conferences, but the actual students. You lock them in the building, don't let them out, and as they single file walk out of that building, which is a pain in the neck, you hand them a little citation that says, you got to pay this in 14 days or we're coming for more. And Jay Billis, I think, is right on.
He's a lawyer. That's what he came up with.
That is a beautiful idea. I mean, I think it makes sense because if you're going to change something, it has to start with behavioral thinking. And listen, ESPN is just as guilty of promoting this type of behavior as anybody, and they freely admitted that. They have freely admitted that. And many folks think it's okay to do the court storming thing because it's part of the festivities of the game.
What if you did this?
About people getting hurt.
I heard somebody, and I don't know who it was.
It was only a matter of time.
I kind of like it this way because I like the court storming. I just think that's part of the college atmosphere.
Right, but what about people getting hurt?
But listen. Somebody, I don't know who it was, said, okay, so what if the buzzer sounds?
Yeah.
Upset happens.
Yeah.
Then there's another 15 to 20-second clock that goes off to allow the opposing team to get off the floor. Then the buzzer hits again, and the kids just go nuts.
Well, I just don't know if buzzers are going to stop kids flowing onto the court. They're going to do what they do. And when one goes, 100,000 go. Right. I get what you're saying. But let me tell you about Duke. Duke is the same place that stormed the field against Clemson when they won on the football field. Now, granted, we're talking about vastly different size venues here, okay? Football fields have more room. People can still get hurt. And at the University of Florida, I think if there's ever been a school that has controlled this, I mean, it's like brain therapy. They control kids here in Florida. It's amazing, but we never see it here. And maybe it's because Florida has already won in many cases. And this
and I also like the fine being huge going to the other school.
Well, going to the what?
So Wake Forest should have been fined X amount of dollars, but that money that they pay goes to Duke.
Okay, that's fine, but it doesn't help the ankle that the guy got blasted when he's walking off the court. And I get it. I just think that if you want kids to think twice about what they're going to do, maybe getting home past midnight with a ticket in your hand will make you think the next time you want to go run out on the court, because it's going to take a long time to walk people out of that building. But if you got law enforcement at the doors handing out citations, I think you've got the answer. And I think people should talk about this more. I think people should talk
Brandon said, dang it went away. He says he's referring to Florida's people not storming the court. He goes, because they're a bunch of physics students from some other country or another school that don't really know what's going on.
Well, but the Rowdy Reptiles have been great about their control, and they're great in the stands, and you got to hand it to the Rowdy Reptiles, and you got to hand it to the University of Florida for somehow controlling this situation. And I think they've done a better job than any school in the country, frankly. But I also think ESPN promotes this with all of the video showing it, and that's okay. I think it's fun to watch. I just wouldn't want to be in the middle of it, especially if I was an opposing coach or player. It's dangerous, and I don't want people getting hurt. And I think the way you stop people from doing things is you hit them in the wallet. That's not the schools, but the actual perpetrators on the court. You hit them in the wallet, and you don't let them out. You just don't let them out until they walk past you with a fine. I mean, it's a great idea. Hey, look, we got to have some ideas out there, right? What ideas do you have? I mean, oh my God, they're mowing the course for the big golf tournament here at Hawkstone next week, and
makes no sense to me. I do not understand that at all.
Well,
a healthier lifestyle.
Schools from faraway places are coming here to play golf, and I have no idea why.
They're going to walk out there and go,
"What is this?
Why are we down here playing this golf course? There's no grass on it. It's flat. Live a healthier lifestyle with our bold, flavorful smoothies and our amazing food. Tropical smoothie. JC, when you eat better, you feel better."
Yeah. I like this drink here. This makes me feel good in the morning. Much better than coffee or something to that extent. So.
All right. So, JC, are you going to the basketball game tonight?
No, I'm going to watch it all on TV on my 3 TV setup with my 3 remote controls and my little Hard Rock app. That is heaven, baby. I'm in heaven after I do that. I'm going to go hit some balls. I got 2 new wedges that came in the mail. I was so upset at the University of Florida golf course with my 56-degree wedge that I basically just tossed it in the fairway. Group came up and said, "Hey, man, did you leave a wedge in the fairway?" I said, "Yes, I did, and you may have it." So I'm starting over.
Oh, you just gave them a wedge, huh?
Threw it away. It was a Jaws Callaway 56-degree wedge. I am getting rid of a lot of things. I'm changing grips. I'm keeping the same ping driver, but I'm going to change everything. I'm going back to the good old-fashioned Tour Edge.
So you think it's the arrows and not the Indian? I mean,
Hey, look, you're the guy who improved his drive with that brand new Callaway.
no. Now
Yes, you did.
that because I broke my driver that I had for 20 years, and I had backups, but those broke too because they were such an old model. So it took me a while to find the right spin rate and all that nonsense. But JC, it could be the Indian and not the Aero. I'm just saying.
I'm going to Adina this Saturday. I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to Adina. So I'm going to go to that.
Tony says you should drop $6,000 on some PXGs.
Ooh, PXGs. There's another course. There's a great course where Worldwoods used to be. It's called the damn it. It's Hour and a Cabot. Yeah, I'll be going there on Sunday, going to Adina on Saturday. Whew, I'm ready. It's golf season. It's MGA season. Yes.
All right. Well, JC,
all right. QB.
Have a good weekend. Or no, we'll see you on Friday.
I'll be back on Friday with more great solutions to our problems.
Hey, go bend your wedges hitting off those mats.
I will come back Friday with more solutions to our problems, and you know, this is the contribution I make. But at any rate, have a great day, Gator Nation, and we'll don't worry so much about the baseball. It's going to be okay, I think. And the basketball should have your full attention right now because it's special going on.
Yes, indeed. That's JC. Join us on the Titan Number Hotline, courtesy of Duffield Home Improvements. Take a quick time out. Come back. We'll be joined by Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel. We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law attorneys of the Florida Gators. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Campus USA, put some star power to work in your financial life with Campus USA Credit Union. Dave & Buster's, eat, drink, play, watch. Duffield Home Improvements for your window, siding, and roofing needs. Radware, your local provider of promotional products, uniforms, and apparel. Our gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogre State Farm Insurance, Radware, F45, Quality Plumbing. Our touchdown sponsors are Adams Ribs, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteak, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Silver Cube Billiards and Sports Bar. If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet, complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, and of course our chicken and waffles. Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Silverback Concrete is a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists. They build commercial structures with unrivaled quality. Silverback Concrete, you stand on it, we stand by it. We're going to go to the Titan MR hotline, courtesy of Duffield Home Improvements, and we're joined by our good friend of the program, Edgar Thompson, who covers the Gators and many other things. How you doing, Edgar?
Hey, Shane. Good to see you.
You're probably excited because the PGA Tour is now here in the state of Florida.
Yeah, I got Bay Hill gearing up next week, TPC after that. Worlds colliding though, man. Spring football's next week. We got a top 25 basketball team going, rolling. So
we got a very good basketball team that can make a deep, deep run. They can go a long ways if things play out. Edgar, first, I've had a bunch of people text, Facebook, YouTube messages about the hiring of Dan Enos. They also lost one of the directors of recruiting. None of that matters. None of it matters to me. Your thoughts on it?
Well, when you have 90 guys on your staff, people are going to leave and come all the time.
Right.
I mean, seriously, it's like you can't even keep up with
No,
all
but
the
my whole point
action.
is, you get these people. Joe Hamilton is his name, and I'm sure he did a great job helping with
Well,
recruiting.
I'll
But
tell you what he did. He was very important with getting lead DJ Lagway.
okay,
Talking to DJ's dad, talking to his quarterback's coach at the Under Armour game, each emphasized Joe Hamilton, like, make sure you mention him. They really liked him. And now he's going to A&M, which was pushing for DJ hard at the end, if you recall. Not saying that means anything. I'm just saying it's like not
yeah.
ideal.
But I just want people to realize that coaches aren't just leaving our program to go elsewhere. It happens at every school, and it's usually about money. A school getting more money. I mean, a person is. I tried to tell Buddy Martin, and it'd be the same with you, Edgar. If the Denver Post, which I don't know if they're still in business, if they came at Edgar Thompson and said, "Hey,
they're in business.
we want to pay you this," you may leave the Orlando Sentinel.
Maybe.
It's no big deal.
Well, sometimes quality of life situations, all that. I mean, there's
True.
Certainly you can go looking for jobs to make more money. Hey, Mike Elko isn't going anywhere for a few years, at least.
Very true.
Where are we going to be a year from now? I don't know. I mean, Joe Hamilton might see more stability suddenly with a first-year coach. Maybe they have relationships. I don't know, man. It just seems like a lot of attrition, a lot of changes. Here's my thing on Dan Enos. Dan Enos is a well-traveled dude. He's 55. Okay. This is his 18th job. He's been to 15 schools. That's a lot of jobs, man. Okay. So I don't even
Sounds
know.
like Jed Fish. If you look at Jed's track record, about the same.
A lot of these coaches, that's coaching. I mean, you're moving up, you're moving. It's a lifestyle I don't even understand. This is my third newspaper, Shane. I've done this 33 years. And I've only done 3 now. That's not a lot of movement. A lot of guys move a lot more than that, and women, they move a bit more. But yeah, that's a lot of moving, man. I've been in the same house for almost 12 years here in Gainesville. I just don't like moving. It's a pain in the
I don't
ass.
blame you. I don't blame
Right?
you.
It's a pain in the butt, packing, dealing with all that. These guys are moving constantly. I feel for the guy on some level, but he's been doing that, had to do that. He was at Alabama in 18. He was at Miami in 19. He was at Maryland 2021. And then he's at, or was it 20? And whatever. Then he's at Arkansas for 1 year. I'm missing something in there. It's just
he went to Miami. Didn't he go to Miami for a year?
That's what I said. He was at Alabama 18. Alabama 18, Miami 19. Then I think Maryland 2020. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, I don't have it in front of me. It's been like 5 moves since then. And now another. But here's the big thing to me, man. It's like, okay, so you got Dan Enos. You've moved Russ Callaway. Credit to Jacob Rudner from 24/7 Sports, first off. Guy broke both these stories. Young man hustles his tail off. Heck of a reporter. Talented guy. He's done a great job since he's been here. The guy's like 23, man, and just plugged in, man, on both the big programs. But he just wanted to give him a shout out because he's doing great work. Enos, Callaway's been promoted to co-OC. You got Rob Sale involved in the offense as co-OC, which I don't know what that means in his case. Okay. You got these 2 other gentlemen. John Cochran's one. You got the Eric Keesis or whatever, that gentleman, right? Auburn, Baylor background. And Billy, who's presumably going to call plays based on what he said to Sean Kelly. The day after we speak to Billy and he doesn't want to talk about it, he's telling Sean Kelly on his podcast, okay, that's fine. That's how that works. That's 6 guys that are going to have input minimum. We don't even know all the other people involved with this Army. That's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, man.
That's every football team. So
But
this is
how
how
do you manage all of those ideas?
No. Because it's not like somebody's got different. I mean, there's only so much you can do in football. People make football way more complicated. It ain't like these dudes are solving cancer. Okay,
I
they're
get it, but
designing
it's a
football
lot of
plays.
voices. It's a lot
So
of
you sit in a staff meeting with your entire offensive staff. You watch tape of the opponent. Everybody jot down some ideas of what they think, or they're focusing. You know, maybe Dan Enos is just going to focus on the left defensive end of Miami. Okay, can we look at one thing throughout 15 games of the last couple of years? Is there something where he gives away something? That's what these guys do. You know, Billy's going to call the plays. I think people do. You even just said it. He told Sean Kell. Billy's going to call the plays. The offensive coordinator was Rob Sale, title last year. Okay, now it's co-offensive coordinator Russ Callaway. That's a title. They're going to have input. They both had input last year. Look, again, everybody, my entire show, and I'm sure the podcast you do, Edgar, everybody wants to talk about Billy calling plays and offense this, offense that. People, the reason we didn't win a bunch of games last year is because of tackling and rushing the passer, playing defense.
I'm Shane, I'm aware, and you and I have had this debate. We screamed at each other about play calling. Everybody loved it. And I'm not going to get into all that because I'm not going to get out over my skis on things that I may not know fully, all the working parts and all the behind the scenes. And Dan Enos will be focused on advanced scouting and head coach projects. I'm not sure what that means, head coach projects, but anyway.
Yeah, it's just who knows what that means.
But he's a good guy to have in the building. I don't disagree. I'm not saying, oh God, why'd you bring him in? I just wonder how you manage all that, because you're saying, oh, it's not complicated, it's all this. But doesn't that complicate it when too many guys? I don't want 6 people covering the Gators for the Orlando Sentinel. It's like, what's everyone doing? I mean, I don't want to get too many ideas sometimes. Don't you want to get a little leaner?
Well, everybody's going to throw your ideas.
Steve Spurrier, your guy Steve Spurrier. You think he needed all that in the building or wanted all that in the building?
No, I don't believe in any of these analysts. And here's the thing is, you remember Edgar back in the day, even when Coach Spurrier was coaching, Nick Saban or whoever these great coaches, they would sleep in the office. They would never go home.
Joe Gibbs, he didn't even know the president was or something.
So every other school's like, damn, we're going to sleep in the office. We're not going home because they're winning. I don't believe any of that stuff. I don't believe in all this analyst nonsense because I don't think it's necessary. But that's what people do. If this school does it, this school's going to do it. That school's going to do it. If they have the money to bring them in, they can do the advanced scouting that you don't want to waste time on looking at the technique of the left corner. Let's see. You know, when he's off at 5 yards, how does he play? If he presses, can we take advantage of? These are little things that these analysts can take notes and give those to the play caller to take advantage of something a defense does. But again, all of this stuff, in my opinion, does not matter one bit. It comes down, can the Gators tackle? Can the Gators rush the passer and not have a historical, awful defensive performance like we've had the last 3 years?
Yeah, they gave up 38 plus during the losing streak, 5 games.
Right.
Now I'll tell you this though, Shane. I don't know that I think the football is any better to watch. In fact, I think it's a lot worse to watch. I enjoyed watching Steve Spurrier's teams a lot more than what I'm seeing now. I think the NFL is not as good. Now, the Super Bowl was freaking great, right? Yeah. That was a physical, old school game with coaches trying to outmaneuver each other, adjusting. I thought it was great. That game, they ended on a high note, but I don't think the NFL is nearly as good a product. So you got all these people, more and more and more and more and more analysis and more of this and more. The football is not even half as good to me. Now, I'm this old and screaming at the clouds maybe. I think the football is as good. So it's kind of ironic that you got all these people and the football was better 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So I don't know. But in terms of the numbers, if you want to crunch numbers, okay, Gators first 3 Power 5 games, they averaged 18 points, Utah, Tennessee, Kentucky. Then they got traction, okay? But still, it was 29 a game. It wasn't like lighting it up.
It's not. And the reason is because
the two biggest games were 20 points on Georgia and 15 on FSU. So it wasn't like the offense was really
okay. But can I say this? How many people scored more than 20 against Georgia?
But no, Georgia's very good. And plus you had Max Brown against Florida State.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Look, I get that. I don't look at those type of numbers like most people do. My eyes tell me the offense was not the problem. Can it be more explosive and score more plays? Absolutely. And all you have to do, it ain't hiring a bunch of analysts. It's not sitting in the office till 4 a.m. It's calling 3 to 4 deep balls per quarter, because you're either going to hit them or you're going to get pass interference.
Now we're up to 3 to 4 per quarter. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take 1 a quarter, but it is that simple. Like I told you, football is not hard. Let your guys go make plays. That's all you got to do. Throw the ball down the damn field and something good will happen. Yeah. With their run game, the way they scheme up runs, if they would take some shots, people's mindset would totally change. I promise you that.
Yeah, no, the run concepts, and I brought that up on this show multiple times. At Jordan Rogers talking to him last year at SEC Media Days, pretty astute guy. And he was like, their run concepts are really good, Rob Sale and Billy's. So he said the passing, he was kind of like not so good. But he really likes the way they run the football and the run concepts, which I'm just talking to my rear end on that because I don't even know what that means. But and stats are for losers, as they say. So you can read into stats and this, that, and the other. They got to get better on the offensive line, too. You haven't mentioned that. And the O-line last year was not good.
No, that's the key. I think
they got to improve a lot.
This is, and again, here we are talking about offense, which is not the problem with the football team.
Well, it's only because they just hired and shifted and did all that.
Right. But I think we have really good skill guys on the outside. We're gonna definitely miss Ricky Pearsall. I think he's a top 10 receiver to ever play at this school. The running backs we will be fine. If the offensive line plays okay or gets better, we'll be all right. But we still have to tackle and rush the passer. That affects football games.
I want to put pen to paper on that top 10 one. We're going to do that when
I firmly believe that.
I love the guy. I love the way he runs routes, his quickness.
He will play in the NFL a long time.
His hands are just, dependable and then some. So Kadarius Toney had his hands, man. He'd be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Edgar, switching gears real quick before we get you out of here. You wrote an article on Florida Victorious, right?
Oh, my Lord. So we're going there. Okay.
No, we're not going to go there. I just let everybody know kind of like, I mean, it's been a mess. Freddie's taken over to raise money, but it's hard. I mean, I'm the believer, we have this huge alumni base. I get it. But I would say 70% of them don't give a damn about sports.
Well, that's probably part of it too. The economy's tough. Everything's expensive. It's a lot of financial pressure on the average person. Not all these people are, Gary Condren or someone. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just have money to burn and you just build another Amazon warehouse, 1 million square feet. And I'm sure he's under tremendous financial pressure. And once you're making a bunch of money, you're under a lot of pressure too.
Right.
So he's just peeling off money just to give to a program that's 11 and 14. That's the challenge. You're not putting a winning product, an exciting product. And so I'll take you to the Spurrier thing we were at the other night, which is a great event, by the way. I'm sure you've talked about it the last couple of days. Great event. Mike Griffith from AJC, Dog Nation, done a great job with that thing. He's been trying to get me out there the last 2 years. I'm glad I went. I really enjoyed it. Well, there's 17 former players. Now you, Chris Doring, Brandon Spikes, you guys are kind of around, but there were some guys I don't see around much. I didn't even know some of them were until Mark Rick's there, Jamie Caldwell, up and comer, all this stuff. Coach, of course, putting on a show, hilarious. Billy Napier wasn't there. And I didn't really get that. And it's like, it's a Monday night, as Chris Doring said, you're at epicenter of college football. It was Gainesville, Florida Monday night. Nothing's going on in college football but that. And this isn't a sport anymore that can just be about X and O's, development, all this stuff. You got to sell. You have to sell. You got to be around people selling. And you got to get people excited about the program. Now, he's going to have an opportunity here starting next Thursday when they open spring football and several weeks to get people excited. And then you have a spring game on the 13th, and we'll see. But I just didn't, I mean, to me, it's a lost opportunity. I'm not saying you're going to make a bunch of money by being there, but it can't hurt. I mean, there was some juice there the other night. I don't think that was an inexpensive event to attend. And so that's all I'm saying. You got to sell. And Florida Victorious, that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to sell, sell, sell. Freddie's got the billboard campaign he started up, which is why I kind of wrote the story. It just didn't go over well because the story began in their mind negatively, but there was a lot of positive. And I didn't mention Jaden Rashada in that story, like the last few paragraphs. And someone questioned, why'd you even put that in there? And I'm like, you can't talk about NIL until that situation's resolved, for one. That's kind of the cloud hanging over a lot of things. And it just was a bad look. And it's why Florida Victorious is here in the first place. If that hadn't happened, the Gator Collective might still be in place. Now, Florida Victorious, to its credit, has added 750 plus members, maybe more since then. It's doing a good job. It's getting out in the community. It's giving charitable opportunities for a bunch of these players. And I think that's good. And Billy loves that aspect of it. Billy's about stuff like that. These guys becoming better men, becoming community members, you know, and they're productive community members. So I think there's a lot of good things they're doing. But bottom line, they just need to raise money and convince people to give, because if you don't give, you don't win in their minds. And I think it's just the reality of the game right now. If you're don't have the resources to lure the top players, DJ Lagway and LJ McCray did not come here for free. And you get those kind of guys, you got to pay now. Yeah. And to keep guys, like, I'm not saying ETN's was a money decision. It wasn't, I don't think. I think it was a playing and a winning decision. But those kind of guys, to keep them, for the most part, you got to pay. So it's a big puzzle with a lot of money involved, and you need the money. And that's what Florida Victorious is trying to do, is trying to raise more money. And hence the campaign.
Yeah, the landscape has changed dramatically, and that's why, you know, I firmly believe that's why Nick Saban hung it up. He'll tell you that it's college football is going in the wrong direction, or just college sports. But
he said, what was his quote the other day? I don't even remember what it was. Someone, our boy Phil Stanbaugh, in fact, told it to me. I wrote it down, but it's something he didn't recognize the game anymore, basically.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Edgar, it goes way too fast when you're in the program. Let everybody know. You got any good stuff you're writing about now, or getting ready to?
I mean, I'm really gearing up for golf, but I'll tell you one story I'm doing. I'm going out there tomorrow to talk to Maisie Filler, the women's golfer. They have their tournament this weekend, and so hopefully, your guy was right that there's no rain coming on Saturday. I tell you, this Gator Invite shows up and it rains every time. But she's having an incredible year. She's won 3 times already. Okay. And there's only one other young woman to win 3 times, I think, in the nation, somebody at Furman. So she's tearing it up, man. 3 wins in a season. Sometimes that's a career for a lot of these players, and it's good. So I'm gonna write something on her, and I'm going to the basketball game tonight and seeing the Gators. So
should be a good one. Edgar, we appreciate your time. You can follow Edgar at OS Gators, right? On Twitter?
Yes, sir.
He's the man.
Thank you for having me.
That's Edgar Thompson. Join us on the Titan Tomorrow Hotline. Hope everybody enjoyed today's program. We'll be here same time, same place tomorrow. Enjoy the basketball game tonight.